Oh, yeah.
All right.
The smooth beats of X Radio.
Sounds great.
I love it. Well, let's transition to some chill hop here. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to this surprise premiere of the KMFCAST.
I'm very excited about this.
Can you believe it? The day has finally come, Caleb.
It's finally come. I know.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're going to dive into some very interesting topics of the future of JavaScript.
That is true. This is the KMFCast. This is our all-new show that we are going to be diving into tech topics, different tech topics every time.
That's right.
Today happens to be the future of JS. But this is not just Caleb and I. We'll be having roundtable contestants. Can those two things actually be combined?
That's a good question. We're going to try.
We're going to find out. Yeah, we're going to have some roundtable X-teamers join us here to talk about all of these different topics. As you can see here, the new JS features in ES 2021 is an example, and they are going to be competing for some good stuff. Let's just say that.
Stuff. Yes.
And with each of these topics that we get into, they will earn points for great responses, for great contributions, for great arguments.
Yep.
And at the end, we shall give out our prize. So let's go ahead and welcome them in, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. First up, we have Senor Diego. Welcome.
Hey, Diego.
Hola, everybody. How are you doing, guys?
Very good.
Good.
Brian?
Yeah. Thanks for being here.
As we were saying pre-stream, we're just very happy to have you and the beautiful, soothing tones of the shore. What was it SMB? SBM? SMB 7?
SMB, 7B, yeah.
Nice.
People, you need to get this.
Great microphone.
Sounds amazing.
If you're an X-teamer, use that Unleash Plus and grab this mic.
Right.
I'm gonna get on it right after this. All right. Next up, we have Senor Oscar. Welcome, sir.
Hey, hello everyone. Hello, how's everyone doing?
So
Great.
good.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited. This is my first time doing this type of shows, and I'm glad to be here.
Well, it's the first time for all of us. This is the premiere of the KMFCast. All right. Last but not least, coming to us from the future, technically, not a senior. I don't know how you say this in Polish. Let's ask him. Michał, welcome.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing?
How do you say Mr. in Polish?
Pan
Michał.
Pan.
Welcome.
Pan Michał, exactly.
Pan
Great
Michał.
pronunciation.
Nice. All right.
Awesome.
Well, we have our group. We have our three contestants here, and let's see what you guys are competing for today. Yes, it is any item from the amazing new X Label collection, our work from home apparel collection. I'm wearing one of them now. Have any of you earned an X Label item yet?
Not yet.
No.
Perfect.
Today's the day.
Perfect. There's hoodies, there's sweaters, there's hats, there's pants, shorts. I mean, anything you want. There's something for it. Comfortable, high performance comfort coming your way. And what we're going to do, like we said at the beginning, we're going to dive into all these topics today, and you earn points based on each card that we go through here. So let's go ahead and dive in with card number 1. First topic, there's new JS features in ES 2020. By the way, when did we stop calling it ES 10, ES 11? Now it's like FIFA? Anyway, you earn points today on this card by making an argument for what you think is the best new feature in ES 2021. I actually need to pull up the link to that full list again. Let's take a look at them, shall we?
Let's do it.
Whoever wants to go first, go ahead. If you've got one, you're ready to argue, give it to us.
I guess I can start. So I went through the changes, and I see that seems that every new year with new version, JavaScript just trying to catch up with the community new features, right? Like TypeScript or things like other transpilers already provide. So this feels like more of that with different features like the new logic operators or the promise any that we have seen in the past. So yeah, I guess at least for this version, what I'm seeing is that it doesn't have like a major new feature that you will say, okay, this is a game changer or something like that. But it has some kind of minor live, how to say, the things that are that is some of the features that JavaScript provides. And at least I can start thinking about talking about my favorite one. I think the most useful for this iteration is the new logic operators, as those will reduce the amount of code that you'll be doing for certain operations. And those are really common, right? The first one is, let me just pull that. The first one is the and equals sign. That is, you have to even on the description right there, it says like you have to write like 4 to 5 lines of code to have the same behavior. But after applying this new kind of operator, you only do it like once, two lines instead.
I was actually gonna. We've got too many screens to share here, so let's see if I can get it for you. I was just looking at that here. You're talking about and equals here, for example, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So as you can see, the before it's like 4 to 5 lines. You have an initial initialization of the variable, and then you have an if statement, and then you decide to assign a new value or not, depending on that if, right? So after that, it's just 2 new lines of code, 1 new line of code, just deciding with a single operation the whole block of code.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, here's the example. There it is.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, look at
That
that
is nice.
after.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's clean.
That's significant. All right. Well, it was weird, Oscar. You started your argument saying there weren't that many big changes. It sounds like you were de-hyping ES 2021.
No, I mean,
And here you are showing some great stuff.
It's not like that. It's like most of the things that I saw on these new changes are things that are already part of TypeScript, for instance. And even some of the sections say like, okay, this was already part of TypeScript since version 3 point something, right? Just calling out that this is something that is not like entirely new, but is kind of adopting it from the different parsers or different other transpilers.
Got it.
Yep. All right. Pan Mihao, what's your argument? Best new feature.
On the new feature, I also like the one we just talked about. It really makes the code cleaner. But in my opinion, promise any is maybe not so. It will be not used very often, but I think it can help in some cases where you need to pull something from multiple places. Like you have multiple sources and you want to have the first available response. So that might be helpful. I don't use it that much. Like I don't use this scenario that much in my work every day, but I think it might help in some cases, specific cases. I agree that most of the features are not so like big game changers, but they might be game changers for some scenarios and some people. So I guess this one might be really cool.
See? So
Yeah.
Oscar de-hypes it all, and Mihao comes in and says, listen, for some people, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Just not me.
I guess just thinking about ES6 and ES7 and what happened there after that,
Well,
after
yeah.
everything, it's like that big, right?
Yeah, hard to compete with
For
those.
sure. Yep.
All right, Senor Diego, did you find any new features you like?
Yeah, I good point for promise any, because there might be some scenarios where you are pinging several APIs calls, or you're building something with different sources, and if that doesn't work, you need just to let's say show an error page or something. So I think for systems that are taking information from several data sources, that's just a nice add-on for the language. And as my colleague said, this is more like a polish and adopting things from another tool, not a game changer moment. But I agree that it's great how they are listening to the community and looking forward to make our lives even easier.
Yes, can't complain. Obviously, new things are good, regardless of how game changer they are.
Big time, yeah.
Exactly.
All right, well, I'm going to give a point to Diego. I thought he had a good he really committed to Promise.NET, and he's going to get 1 point from me, and 1 point to Pan Michał for just being great.
All right, let me get
Sorry,
those up on the
Oscar.
board.
Next time. Now, next topic. We talked about ES 2021. Let's get into what's coming next. Maybe next year's proposed features, are something more exciting to talk about. Let's find out. What do we got here? Oscar, back to you again.
Yeah. I think the best one, and this is a big one, is the top level await. This is a topic that has been discussed with for a long time, where to have this type of features, you will need to wrap your async await functions into a module or something else to be used. And with this, you can directly kind of call database connections or any type of asynchronous processing right from the top of your module. Even other frameworks like Dino were kind of making this feature as a highlight to move away from Node to Dino because of this top level await. So having it added to JavaScript and to the standard ECMA features, this is great. I think this is kind of this is a game changer for some scenarios where you have to do kind of tweaks or changes to have these features available, but just in this time you don't have to do anything like that. So this is my favorite by far.
Well explained. Now you're earning my points. Michał, what was your favorite of the list here? Any stand out to you?
So yeah, the top level await, I think it's the hottest topic because it's like also in the community it's very much liked, and I agree that this is a game changer. For sure, it's a bigger change than we saw in the previous ES 2021. But I think also there are some changes in classes which are interesting. But I think most of them are covered by TypeScript, so I'm not sure if they will be like that much of an impact for developers because many people are using. These changes are available in TypeScript. I'm not sure. Maybe there are some specific changes which are not there and arrived with this change, but I think most of them were just there, and everybody that is using TypeScript already will be not like feeling this change that much. So I think the top level await is number one in my opinion.
Diego, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with the guys. Even there are changes, this is the most groundbreaking one. It helps a lot. There are moments when you have open promises and you have to check where it's breaking the code. And so having this change on the language, it's a really good one. The other ones might not be that important.
Yeah. Well, Caleb, I didn't get to hear your points from the last round, so I think Oscar wins this one for me. I'm going to give him 2 of my points. What are you giving out here?
Yeah, so Oscar won my round last time as well.
Wow.
I'm
the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I'm updating here. I'm not sure about this round. I don't know this one. It
was
hard
tough.
to. Yeah. Sorry, what were your points for this round?
For this round, I'm giving 2 to Oscar.
Okay.
I think he did an amazing job explaining top level of weight.
Yep.
Eventually, I'm going to come back around to Mihao and give him a point for that great hat.
Oh, thank you.
Season 8 hat, looking good.
That's biased. That's biased.
and also,
Oh,
Oh,
you said
there
the
you
whole
go.
Season 8.
yeah.
See, Oscar,
And-
Oscar, come on,
and one
man. I
more
know
thing.
you got Vault.
I grind my hat. Be right back.
He's like, give me that point.
Yeah, scrambling for points.
Yeah, so let's get that leaderboard because now we're going to be heading into our next round here.
Where are we? How many points does Diego have? I missed it.
Diego,
Yep.
it's up to what you gave him last round.
Okay. Oh, he had
That's
two.
what I was saying. I completely skipped you last round.
That's all right. I was going to give him 5 last round, so we'll do that. I think this is
Cool.
right.
Yeah, probably 5. And yeah, there you go. That's looking good.
Is that right?
And I gave Mihao 1. Yep. Last. And let's give him another one now, actually, for that great hat. So he's up to 2.
Great idea.
And Oscar went to get something, yet came back with nothing. Oh, there it is.
There we
Oh,
go.
that's a 3.5. Very nice.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Here's our scoreboard. All right. Look at that. Oscar now, despite the first round, he is now in the lead.
Starting
There
slow.
you go. This is how it works. But hey, it's time for a party break. Party breaks are completely not JavaScript related, and a chance for
Alright.
people like Mihao to catch up. Here's how you can participate, contestants. Also in the chat, if you'd like to join in, please do. You'll see our private chat down here. I'm going to say down here. There it is. You can buzz in by just typing anything in there, and you'll be the first person who gets to guess who this person is. I'm just going to say it's someone in the world of tech. And this is what they would look like if they were Gollum. So get ready to buzz in. 3, 2, 1. Buzz in if you know who this is. All right, Oscar, who is it?
Sorry, Jeff Bezos.
Is it Jeff Bezos? If he was Gollum. It is indeed.
Got it.
Nice.
That is
I would like to
disturbing.
hear his voice though. How his voice will be.
I can't remember the gum. Schmeagol. Yes. This is no. This is actually. I'm gonna rename this. No, this is it, what Bezos looked like when he came back from space, because his rocket didn't work out quite well. A little bit of too much in-cabin pressure.
That's right.
All right. Well, there you go. What is that? 5 points? 3
That's
points?
5
How
points,
much?
right?
How much for that? That's 5 points. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
That is
Wow.
5, yeah.
Oscar
Nice.
dominating the
Yeah,
lead
dominating.
now. Don't worry. There's still more to come. All right. Let's jump into our next topic. Next.js 12. Everything's getting updates. Now, is this going to be a game changer? Next.js 12. Who would like to start this round on arguing?
Right.
Points will be awarded this time for reasons as to why it's great or not.
Okay, changing JavaScript for Rust as the compiler. That's a huge change. They are, using a language that is closer to the machine, and Rust has already proved themselves that it's super fast. So I think they took the right decision. I can continue with the other topics.
Rust is where it's
like-
at now. It's all the hipster talk.
Mhm.
It is.
It's like, Rust is like the C++ 21 version. century.
For Centennials,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. C# for Centennials. C++, sorry.
All right, that's your argument. Who else
Yeah.
has one?
I think this update is stacked. It has a bunch of things that are great. As Diego said, the Rust compiler is one of the big highlights because as it says, it's five times faster to build, right? But there are another things that are not as this is kind of the big topic, the Rust compiler. But I think there is one more that is the React server components, the last one. So what happens with this is that it changes the way that we build Next.js applications. So if you're familiar with Next, you'll be familiar with two functions that are the get server-side props and get static props that basically grabs information during build time to generate the pages, the static content. And with React Server components, as the whole list of three components are getting rendered and generated during the build time, you can use hooks or different I/O inside of the components to do the data fetching instead of relying on these kind of special scenarios for Next, that is the get static props and the get server-side props functions. In this case, what you can do is use SWR or any other type of hooks or libraries that you want to use. So Next becomes less attached to their own practices and closer to what React and the React ecosystem is. So the learning curve is even getting smaller and smaller just by adding this new feature. So yeah, I agree that the Rust compiler is the one of the biggest things, but this is kind of the React server components like my close second or almost one for me. So
Learning curve is so important.
Yep.
Learning curve is what gets more adoption. It gets more production. Next into bigger production sites. I mean, learning curve is super important. So I agree. This is great.
Yep.
Han Mihao.
So for me,
or not like.
I think the Rust, of course, is the biggest one. Not of course, but for me, it's the biggest one. At least I was experienced with very slow builds. So for me, if something builds faster, I don't know if 5 times faster is like, just a good marketing or it's true. I haven't tried that yet. But if it builds faster, the teams will save a lot of time because if you build some applications and you multiply that by people, you might save a lot of time in the project. So I think it's cool, and it will give you some savings, and you will iterate faster. So that's great. Also, I think React 18 support is a good thing because you can start using things like suspense. So you can start writing the fresh React, the newest features, using the newest features in Next. So for me, this is also cool. Also, I haven't tried suspense yet, but maybe you guys can chime in. But I've heard that this might be also something that React developers were waiting for. So yeah, I think this might be cool.
Anyone use suspense?
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I haven't.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think points across the board here for everybody. I heard lots of good arguments, and I'm gonna give an extra 2 points to Diego because of his T-shirt.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That's how that's gonna work. Going back to our topics here, next 12. I mean, it was cool getting to see Next put on a virtual event like that and have their team share a lot of stuff. That was a cool event overall, and looking forward to actually, is it next month or is it this month, ReactConf? Can't remember.
I think it's this month.
Yeah.
Oh, December 8th. So coming up.
Oh,
Make sure to go register conf.reactjs.org. Go check that out. Scoreboard is updated. Ooh, look at the
Updated. We're getting
closeness.
close.
Ooh.
We're
Mihal,
getting
where are
close.
you, man? Wait. Why did Mihal not get any points?
He
Give
did.
him five.
He
It's a
got
bug.
points. It's a bug. He got points. He got
He
2
only
points.
has 4. Wow, poor Mihal, man. This is...
He's gonna pull through.
Well, maybe we'll get him a party break. Nope, it's not a party break. It's Gatsby versus Next. Ooh, this is a moment to really make those great arguments. So, who wants to start on this? And maybe even set the stage for us here. Why are Gatsby and Next even being put next to each other?
That's a good question.
Well,
Yeah, maybe it's like a question when you want to build a web page. You might consider both. So, in my opinion, Gatsby is like maybe more lightweight, and it's more suitable if you want to build something more lightweight, like a web page that is like super fast, and also you can develop it very fast because it includes a lot of things like components for images, for many different things that comes out of the box. So I have not worked with Next.js for a while, so I'm not sure how the newest version compares. But Next.js for me, it's like for biggest projects, for bigger projects, for like something that needs to be scalable and maybe become something bigger. It needs a server. It's a bigger thing, but Gatsby can work as a what's it called? Like you can just build a pure HTML plus CSS plus JS and just deploy it without a server in some hosting. So I think they have different purposes. They are like they are created for different scenarios.
Absolutely, makes sense. Any, feelings on that, or also curious who's
I have worked with Next, so even on my current project, I'm using Next.js. I'm working with Next.js, and what I feel is that for the different discussion that I had with the other developers is that Gatsby tends to be a little bit more opinionated on ways that the things that have to be built in a certain way, in a different set of rules for the scaffolding and things like that. Whereas Michael said, Next is more like for bigger applications, it's a stack that is not as opinionated. It has its own patterns to build things, but basically it allows you to choose your own strategy, your own patterns in the ways that you have the scaffolding and the different modules that you want to use for your application. So I think I wouldn't say one is better than the other. It just depends on your familiarity for the team, and also I think it ties with the next topic as well. That is what type of Jamstack you want to use. So depending on that, you can decide, okay, maybe Strapi or Keystone or other CMSs work better for things like Gatsby, and others work better with Next.js for this set of reasons, right? Yeah, that's what I say. But in the end,
So-
I think Next.js is kind of my go-to.
I was going to say, you guys are being such senior developers here, just saying, hey, look, you use whichever one works for which situation. That's the best developer response. But I like Oscar in the end did commit to one, which is Next.js.
Yeah, Next is my go-to, to be honest. If I want to start something new right now, I'll go with Next every time.
I agree. Diego, what's your pick of these two
Okay.
if you're going to start a project tomorrow?
Yeah, I would go with Next because it's much about what you want to do with it. You can adapt Next in terms of if you want to build something more static, like a blog post or something where you just write down things and expose to the web. But on the other hand, if you need to build something more dynamic, you can just configure Next upon your needs. And Gatsby, it's more like a static site generator, and you can use a headless CMS on the back and just generate that content on static basis, just to have a better SEO and have something that will be really fast. But in terms of customizations and build, enterprise applications or just a blog post, Next will be more customizable. So yeah, I would go with Next all the way.
Next for the win. Did you want to commit to one now, Miha?
Yeah,
hard.
I think, yeah, it's hard because I think I would not use Next for like a very small, like maybe a web page where you just display a single page. Maybe it will be an overkill for me. So I would maybe use Gatsby for that, since it's lightweight and faster. But that's just my opinion.
Well, points all around, I think, and you can give 2 of my points to Miha for going first.
Yeah, for sure. All right. I actually was going to give Miha points for coming out of the gate and doing a great job at explaining the differences to someone like me, who is technically a developer but not in the space at the moment. So that's we're getting some points up for Miha.
Well done, Miha. Teaching the people. Let's see. Scoreboard. We'll wait on that. Here it comes.
And Ryan, did you have others to give? You gave some to Miha. I gave some to Miha.
That's all I had to give.
Okay.
Oscar almost got one from me, but because I like the underdog, he did not get them.
We're all double digits now. That works out.
That's fine.
What's our next card here? Is it the Jamstack or is it a party? It's a party.
It's a party.
All right. This one is called If They Were Einstein. Last time it was If They Were Gollum. Again, this is someone from the tech world. If they were Einstein. Remember, you just use the private chat to buzz in. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who is this if they were Einstein?
I don't know how to spell it. Yeah.
All right. Diego, who is it? Diego, can you hear me?
I wrote down.
Oh no! Say it out loud for the world to see and hear.
Sorry.
You can just go ahead and say it now.
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg. But
yes,
it's
that
weird
is.
I just I type it down, but it didn't appear on the chat.
Oh, I saw it. You were the first then.
I saw it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And you can actually type anything you want. It could just be like the letter F, anything to buzz yourself in.
The buzzer.
Okay.
And then you say it on camera who you think it is.
All right.
But yeah, there you go. Diego with 5 points for Einsteinberg. Heinsberg sounds. Yeah. Heinsberg sounds like a great superhero villain.
Yeah.
What's my name?
Heinsberg. And let's hear it in the ASMR mic.
Heinsberg. What's my name?
Ooh.
Gives you chills.
There you go. There is what you've all been. This is what you woke up today hoping you would see, which is Mark Zuckerberg if he were Einstein. 5 points to Diego, taking the lead now, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oscar close behind.
18. Congrats, sir. All right, let's move on to Jamstacks. Are Jamstacks worth doing? That is the question of the day. We already talked about the Jamstack a little bit, but who wants to tell us the best argument for when you should use a Jamstack, or if it's all overhyped?
Let's go back time and use PHP. That's it.
I'm in.
Just kidding. I've been there for a long time. I don't want to go back.
I mean, if you don't want jobs, then that's a great idea.
Right. Yeah, well, I think, today JavaScript and all the architecture we are using with it gives us the chance, just to not build monolithic apps as we used to do with PHP, for example. So it gives a company the chance, to split up the work and have an API team, a front-end team, so people specialize in something. Because at the end of the day, having a full stack developer, it's, they will have better skills on the front end or the back end. So if you have people specialized on something, it will make a better job. And in terms of tech, you can have separate evolutions. So cloud, it takes their own path, and React and other front-end frameworks have another path. So you can, just make things grow faster because people specialize on that specific problems, whether it's backend or frontend.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Mihao?
So I think for me the biggest pros are that you have you should have fast load times, fast pages, and you should have good CEO. So generally the pages should perform better when they're created with this approach. But for me, the biggest drawback, which I experienced, was that, for example, comparing to PHP, whenever a user uses a CMS, for example, and he updates the page, the update is almost instant. But with Jamstack, you usually regenerate the whole page, so it takes time. So also for the developer, you could prepare like a live preview, but that's like another thing to build. So for me, the biggest drawback was always that it's not so dynamic as the old way, or like PHP or some other approaches, other technologies. So I think this is the biggest drawback, the lack of being dynamic, and the users do not see changes instantly, like when they need to rebuild the whole page to update certain content, right?
Yeah, interesting. I didn't know that. Cool. Oscar?
Yeah, so as Ameja said, it is basically going in the evolution of the single page applications, right? So we found out that having a big bundle JavaScript bundle that will be basically rendering the whole application is not performant, and it's not working for things like mobile or other scenarios where the user might have a different slower speed connection. So having these pre-rendered applications is kind of weird because it is sort of going back to the basics, like Diego said, and because where we have these Java stacks or PHP stacks that just render everything from the server, but also we're doing it on a way that is also using the latest type of architecture and patterns to provide the same type of services. In this case, as Michael said, one of the key points is the pre-rendering of everything, of the whole site or most of the site, right? At least for not the dynamic applications. And I guess it's just right now we are in a moment that there are a lot of different, similar to what JavaScript frameworks were or were in the previous 5 years or a little more, that every month we have a new one. Since every month we have a new CMS, right? A new JavaScript CMS. And everyone is trying to find what would be the best strategy, the best way of having a CMS. And we have some pillars like Strapi, like Keystone or something like that. But I think it's just we're just getting there to see what would be the best way of building this new way of creating web apps.
Absolutely, makes sense. Cool.
Well, that was very good to learn all about the Jamstack. I had not been caught up on the Jamstack in that full context. It was great to hear the drawbacks from Michał.
Yeah.
Great to hear nice overview from Diego. I'd give 1 point each to Diego and Michał. And I mean Oscar as well, but someone's got to lose out.
Yeah, no worries.
I was just going to say what I want to do is split my points and round up and give 3 to each.
Actually, I was going to give one more actually to Oscar as well, just for bringing out that 3.5 hat. So
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe it's 2 to Oscar, 1 to each of them. Scoreboard,
I'm okay
you
with
can
that.
do whatever you like.
Okay, let me figure this out.
But Jamstack's interesting.
I did split my points, which is not fair, but
It's all right. Up next, we're going to be talking about styled components versus raw CSS, but I feel like there might be a party break coming.
I think so too, which is good because we're close here, points wise.
All right, scoreboard. 20 for Diego. Diego, the dark horse.
Hell yeah.
It's that
Mike Powers.
Heinsberg.
Myers
Heinsberg coming from behind. All right, what do we got? Oh, it is a party break.
Nice.
Yes. All
This
right.
is fun.
Last one of the day. If they were Jabba, who is this person? If they were Jabba. The Hutt, of course. Not Jabba, whatever other Jabbas might exist out there. Or maybe, is this how you say it? The band ABBA in Spanish? Yabba? All right, horrible
ABBA.
joke. Moving on. In the private chat, make sure to just hit anything on your keyboard to
Anything.
buzz in. Here we go. Who is this if they were Jabba? I love AI. AI is just a wonderful. This is exactly when they invented AI, what they expected.
That's exactly what they had in mind. That's it.
This would have. This would be its primary use case: turning celebrities, celebrity CEOs into whatever we want to turn them into.
That's right.
All right, who do we have here? We have. I'm guessing Diego with La La La. Is that? Was that the first buzz in?
No, no.
I think
No,
it's
I think it was
Mike
me. I wish they gave us timestamps, but I
Was it
believe
Michał?
Michał.
Yeah, Michał.
Michał, who is this?
Hey,
If they were Jabba,
Elon Musk, I guess.
is it? It is indeed. Was it the hair? What was the giveaway?
What was the giveaway?
I don't know. It doesn't really look like his face, but it does. It's got his eyes and his hair.
Yeah, I think her.
Yeah, the hair was yeah.
Now, this special AI moment comes with a follow-up, which is the opposite. If they were Jabba on a diet,
Yeah,
this would be Elon Musk.
that's another guy.
That's a pretty
That
good
doesn't
one.
look like him.
Yeah, I think that one.
That-
That one's
that's
harder
harder.
than the.
Yeah.
This is what I imagine Heinsberg looks like, actually, the evil superhero villain.
Like the Mega Man.
Yes, Megamind or
That's right.
something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the guy in the Arcane, the new villain, the main villain.
Oh
in
yeah,
Arcane.
yeah. Looks like him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks like him.
Hmm.
But yes, thank you AI for entertaining us today. That is the end of our party breaks. As we come to, I believe, our final topic, is it?
I believe it is.
It is styled
Yep.
components versus raw CSS. One last debate for the day until we give out that X-Label early adopter pass to today's winner. All right, who wants to make the argument of when it is best to use styled components versus raw CSS?
I think I would like to start kind of
Go for
explaining
it.
where the difference. So style components is a React framework or library that basically utilizes interpolation to create SSS components as React components. So in that case, what you end up having is, instead of using classes for your class names or styles, what you use is you create a React component, stateless React component that will specify the list of rules, CSS rules that are going to be applied only to that component. So in that scenario, what you have on your tree will be name things like containers, wrappers, buttons, and not using classes like class name styles dot container, something like that. And also you can use props for style components, and you can extend from style components. You have like this use kind of customization of different components based on the needs that you have, specific needs. Versus CSS. CSS is basically separating the component layer or the JavaScript layer to the styling layer, where you have all of your styles based on CSS, Sass, or any other tool that you would like to use, and then importing them and using them as class names. So you can use also global things like colors, sizes, and that kind of stuff. And but mostly using class selectors or IDs to apply some certain rules to the components. That's kind of the way I see the difference between the two. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah, there are another things about that. And yeah, in terms of testing, style components give you like the same testing layer that you will have with React. So that's great if you need to. It depends on the project, but there are some cases where you need to just run unit tests for styles. So for that cases, the style components is the solution. You won't be able to do that just with raw CSS.
Sure. Yeah, and for me, the biggest starting with that style components for me was a big huge thing, because it was so huge when you moved from just typing classes like you guys mentioned to just creating components which are becoming the classes. And for me, the huge thing was that you can use JS inside style components, so you can add logic easily with just using JavaScript. So you don't have to, if you know JavaScript, you don't have to learn another framework like less Sass or whatever. You just write JavaScript and you can invent your own logic, which for example changes the behavior of the style component based on some prop or something that comes into the style component. So for me, this was the huge change, that you can just use JS and do the same everything you could do and more with this using just JS. This was the huge thing. So yeah, I think style components, if you can use them, it's like the way to go.
Sure. I think the downside of style components at the moment is that it is only usable for React, so it is kind of tied to React at this point. At least the common library that everyone uses, that is style components. So if you want to use another framework, another libraries, you might find a little bit difficult to find a specific library that matches Vue or Angular, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I think style components are the way to go.
Yeah, if you just know CSS, you can use that knowledge on any other framework, or for style components will be just a transition. If you move to, let's say, Vue, you will have to take the.
You can use any of the thousands of JavaScript frameworks. Don't just be held down to React. Every time I keep seeing the word raw CSS, I keep thinking of this hard-coded CSS.
Oh, yeah.
It just makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't ever want to use raw CSS. It's so raw.
Inline styles.
I love inline styles. That is the way to code in 2021.
That's right.
We were here talking about we're talking about the future of JS today. The future of JS is inline styling. Let's get another great look at it. There it is.
Yeah.
That is the future.
You heard it here
I have a
first.
t-shirt with that.
Yes.
Is that from
Will you wear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's xteam.com. View source.
xteam.com/the future. I'm just going to keep that up there as long as possible. Yes, that will. If I get you a T-shirt that has the future of front end is inline styling, will you wear that to ReactConf?
Every day.
Sure.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I like
well, I'm giving 3, 2, 1 this time. 3 to Oscar, 2 to Mihao, 1 to Diego. And Caleb will make the final points of his own for our drum roll.
You said 3 to Oscar,
2 to Mihao, 1 to Diego. And let's go back. There it is. Who's getting our X label? I forgot to mention I'm wearing an X label. I love this sweater. It is
it looks
perfectly
great.
fit.
It looks great.
It's got the nice X label patch, kind of hard to see here on the side. It's a lovely.
It looks.
But that's
great.
that's the whole point of X label, is to have apparel that you can wear on a live stream, on a call, to feel confident about the work you're doing but still being comfortable. That's kind of the whole vision behind X label. So let's find out here. Drum roll. Who is getting it? 25 to Oscar.
It's right, Oscar.
Woo! He
Diego
started
almost
first.
had it. I love Diego talking about testing, but for me, it was Oscar just laying everything out. Loved it.
Yeah, well deserved.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Absolutely. Is Ryan frozen or am I frozen?
Yeah, it's like he's frozen.
Ryan.
Yeah.
He's doing his Jeff Bezos face.
Yeah, that's right. That's actually a live feed. He's just looking at inline styles and just amazed by them. We'll see if we can get him back here, but yeah, definitely congratulations to Oscar. The X label stuff. I had no part in it, but it's beautiful. Very, very impressed by what everyone did for X label. Cool stuff. I don't even own it myself yet, so looking forward to when I do. Oh, I thought we had Ryan back, and we don't.
He was amazed.
Are those available on the vault, or those are different kind of items?
So there are different items. There's I know there's a nice jacket. There's more of a sweater, pants, and I believe shorts. And I think Ryan said that the choice was yours. So we'll follow up and make sure that happens.
Sorry, my computer literally froze.
Sorry.
As the stream is coming to an end. That is how you know this show is going to have a long, great history.
That's right. That's right.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys already wrapped up, but hey, thank you to our guests and thank you to our guests and for joining the first ever KMFCAST. Looking forward to doing many more of these. So thank you all again, and congrats
thank you so
to
much.
Oscar.
Oscar, big win.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
All right,
And
see you
we'll
guys.
see
Thank
you
you so
next
much.
Thank you.
Guys.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.